Now, if you've ever seen an awesome guitar player or an awesome improviser on any instrument, really, and then oftentimes you go up to them and you say, "Hey, man, that was awesome. What were you thinking about while you were playing?" And oftentimes the answer comes back, "I wasn't thinking about anything." That's probably true because you spend your time at home practicing and rehearsing and thinking about all of the different things that we've talked about in the video series that we've done here. And you do it to the point of habit. And like I've said before, the only level above habit is mastery. And at that level, you can walk on stage and what comes out is so known, so ingrained into your head and your hands that you know what you need to do to sound good with your improv. You know the tools that you need to rely on, and you just kind of spit everything back out here. So the mental side of things is that preparedness, having confidence, which only comes from preparedness, right? And the preparedness comes from your fretboard. That's why we talked about really getting to know the fretboard, really understand that. Your cage system, or however you want to learn your general theory, scales, chords, and arpeggios. Your technical, physical ability. That's why we went over that, so that you can get some of those ideas down. Turning all of that into licks, using motifs, so that you've got these great pieces of information that you can turn around and spit out in your improv without having to think about it too much. And obviously it takes a bit of practice to get to that point where you step on stage and you know what you need to do, okay? But, think about what I call the improv to-do list. And this is all the things that I'm saying here. Our improv to-do list, before you play, think about to yourself, all right, what am I doing rhythmically? Do I have good variation? Am I using my subdivisions wisely to create this variation? How about repetition? Am I handing over to the listener some good themes? Am I creating a nice melody? Am I using motifs to, package my great technical and melodical and rhythmic ideas into these nice little streams of information that the audience can grab onto very easily? What am I doing technically? And what I recommend doing literally is take a piece of paper out and write down every stylistic technique you can think of, from the basic bends, hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, to the advanced that we've talked about, sweeping, tapping, legato, alternate picking, economy picking, hybrid picking, string skipping, octave playing, thumb playing, finger picking, anything you think of as a stylistic technique, write it down and keep that list in front of your workstation where you practice, so that when you're improvising, you go through and you say, all right, let me just mess around with bends for a little bit. Okay, I've done that. Now I need to move on in order to keep things creative and interesting. And you go down the list. Eventually you get all that memorized, and so you have this kind of stylistic technique Rolodex in your head, so that no matter when you're playing, you're thinking, okay, what am I doing stylistically? Let me throw some other stuff out there. Okay, so your improv to-do list is very important. Rhythm, repetition, phrasing, motifs, your stylistic vocabulary, your lick vocabulary, like we talked about, building concepts to pull out. We'll come back to this in a second. But on the mental side of things, you definitely want to have that kind of preparedness so that when you walk up on stage, you're ready to go. You know what you need to be thinking of.
Hey, if you liked this video, you're going to love our YouTube channel. Every week we post short, useful videos that help you get better at guitar and learn quicker. Just click the big old button over here to the right.